Don't waste your time on people who's not giving you that in return. It comes a point in time in your life you know who values you, and you know. Let me turn that into value over here. You know who sees you and appreciates you as a person. We come to a point in our lives that in these times people are just self-centered, and it's sad that the fact that okay, you could make you feel sad. Like for example, like you could just be chilling, and you can be a person that cares for everyone, and you're cooking, you're making burgers, and an example, and you can see a person that you have somebody that a family member, friends, just people out in the norm that you know that you're close to, and you'll make like 5 burgers, and you would think that okay, you know what, they'll make sure that you have at least one for yourself, but you'll have like 2 people, they'll come in and they would say, I'm gonna take 2, and I want to take the 3, and then they'll just grab their burger and just eat. And then for example, like it's like, yo, for example, like that you wanted something to just taste and just eat, you know what I mean, but you care for everyone. Nobody's gonna think the same way for themselves for you, because you're a person that's just caring, you know what I mean. You want to make sure that everybody's eating, but everybody else, it's not that they don't care for you, it's just that they're just worried about what they got going on. They're just worried about what they can eat, if that makes sense. Time and time again, I say this all the time. We live at in the time where everybody is just self-centered. Now, that doesn't mean that, this wasn't happening before, but I've gotten to the point where I realize is that you got to make sure that you're good. Before I get into the video, I get more into it. Let me introduce myself. This is Gene, your best friend, your new best friend. And I invite you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you see the shirt is wrinkled, you know what I mean? You see this? When you see me dressed like this, especially this wrinkled shirt, I know I look hurt, but I'm going to the gym, you know what I mean? I'm just recording this before I go to the gym, or I'm getting out the gym, you see me, I'm comfortable. But I have to remind myself sometimes that, yo, I gotta be more presentable. I will. But what I'm going with is this. Worry about yourself. Get yourself situated first, whatever it is. If you have to, it could be something as you're getting food and you eat. Yo, stop at a restaurant, or if it's a snack, eat yourself something. Sit down and just chill. I know it gets to a point where most people, they're just not as comfortable being by themselves in public. But I made this subject up, and this title up, because everybody wants you to make sure that they're good, but they're not worried about you. Nobody's worried about you. And I realized that for me, I got into the point where I had to think about this, right? And I'm very observant. Not that I'm judging everybody else. Hey, everybody is worried about themselves, right? But how is it us as humans, us as a people, where, making sure that we all are good, making sure that, hey, we care for each other, right? Making sure that, yo, hey, James, yo, you got this, yo, make sure you come and eat. Hey, use myself as an example. Gene, yo, we got something going on. Yo, look, check this out. Most people are just worried about themselves, and they're not worried about you. And it's sad to say, and I'm gonna be real with you, most people that you come across, and especially the people that are closest to you, they don't care for you. Because if they did, and if they were so worried about you and make sure that you're good, why is it that every time you contact me, it's always about what you got going on? Why is it that you're hitting me up? It's about, can you have something? We all are adults, right? Right? We worry about us. We worry about what we got going on. We worried about you, right? But how is it that the fact that you're calling me selfish because I want to get myself situated? I'm going somewhere with this, and where I'm going is that Stop worried about what people think about you. Stop worried about what if somebody says something about what you got going on. They're not in your shoes. They're not in your shoes. This morning, I was talking to someone, and I remember they were just telling me that, oh, such and such said something, and somebody said this and said that. So my question is, it was to them, and I know that they're much more younger than me because I got to the point in my life where, at my age, it's nobody's business what I got going on. It's nobody's business and 9 times out of 10, if you got something going on, those people are going to ask you for a handout. Those people are going to come across and say, hey, put me on. But it's gotten to the point, right, where people have a say of what you got going on. The same people that don't care about you, the same people that, the minute that you have $5, they're going to want 4 out of it. Not knowing that how you're going to eat. Now, that person could really need that $4, which is cool. But at the same time, did they ever stop and think that, okay, you know what? I don't want to take it from you because I don't know what you need it for, or you like I said, most people don't know your situation. Most people will tell you certain things that you got going on, trying to tell you, oh, it's because it's this, but they don't know what you are going through. And I have to say, you have to be selfish with what you got going on, your time, your energy, and also you have to be considerate that not telling people your business. A lot of times, especially in this, like I said, in this generation, most people, they want to know your business because they can feel good about themselves, so they could put you down. They put you down to make them feel better about themselves. Guess what? Everybody got problems. Everybody's situation is not perfect. It don't even matter if you're not employed, right? If you're not employed, okay, cool. I mean, we all should be working. We're all adults, right? But I remember, and I was having a conversation with someone. This person done made $100,000. If not, they making more than that now, probably, right? But that person is just not happy. And you're an individual that have access to be able to, have access. Let's say if you're making like 50,000 a year, right? Or less, a little, but you have access to be able to travel. You're able to enjoy your life. Now, I'm not saying that you should be limited to just making 50,000 a year, right? But like all of us, more money, more better, right? That person wish they could be in your shoes. That person wish that, I can be able to. And it's crazy. You'd be so surprised how miserable people are. Trust me. You could be a person that's just, you love yourself. You know what I mean? You care for yourself. You know where you're going. That person will just want to come around you and want to take your energy. And that's what I'm telling you. You have people, especially in these times, where they just want to take. Now, it don't have to be financially, but they just want to take your energy. They want to take your joy. They just want to come at you in a way like they just don't care. And that's why, for me personally, I isolate myself from people, just being careful. And when I do get around people and I just have conversations, I just, hey, what's going on? Oh, this, that. Even though I have a business and somebody said, oh, I'm starting the business, I'm doing this. And then I noticed that, hey, they talking a little bit too much and they think they know it all. Oh, you doing this? I just sit there and go, oh, okay. Oh, wow. That business, okay, so, okay, what kind of business? Oh, I'm doing this. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna sit there. I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. And then, and a lot of times, those type of people, they're not humble. They're not looking to learn. They're not gonna ask you. They're gonna try and tell you what you should do. Oh, you should do business too. Yeah, you should do this because you could do this and do that. You need to get up on my level. Okay. Yeah. Yo, put me on. I just sit there and just like, hmm, hmm, hmm. And that's how you got to be, because most people are going to try to do, they're going to try to take your joy. They're going to try to belittle you. They don't care. Like I said, most people are just so self-centered into anything that and everything what they got going on. And you got to be careful, because next thing you know, you're questioning yourself to someone that don't know nothing. If that makes sense. So if you like this video, I invite you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. Right? Please like, share, and subscribe. And again, don't let nobody that's self-centered take away your joy and try to tell you who you are as a person. All right? If that makes sense, I invite you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. All right? Peace.